Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Yup, we back with another one. Today I'm just dyeing this hair for my client. She wants it to be burgundy but have a little bit of red. So we're going in with the 71 intense red and we're going in with the 78 rich amber. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty, so this is a used wig that has already been dyed before. I definitely did dye it this brown color. So being that she wanted to be burgundy mixed with a little bit of red was like the best thing that she chose. So let's go ahead and get into mixing in this color. So what I do here, I do use a full bottle of the 78 rich amber and half the bottle of the 71 intense red. So you first want to go ahead and pour a little bit of the intense red, which is the 71, and then mix it in with the 78. I go ahead and mix it in first. I do it, you know, squirts by squirts. I don't like to just pour it all the way in and then mix it. I like to go ahead and give it that nice blend. So go ahead and make sure you blending your thing correctly so we can get that nice color. Alrighty, so once you blend it, we can go ahead and part out the front. I normally part out the front and dye the front and pretty much water dye the back because that's too much work to dye all of that. I'm sorry, I'm not dyeing all of that. But what I'm gonna do is make sure I dye the front so the front can make sure that it has that nice red color, because normally when you try to water dye the whole wig, I don't like how it turns out for me. I like when, you know, the dye gets, you know, get into the hair completely. I don't like to see two different colors in my dye. I like to make sure I'm seeing the full color that I want and not two different colors, if you get what I'm trying to say. So what I do, I make sure that I go in with the front with the dye. I part out some parts. When you're dyeing the front, you have to be careful when you get into the roots. You don't want to go ahead and comb through the roots like it's a regular scalp, like, you know, you combing it regularly. No, you have to be very delicate when you come to the roots. The bottom is easy. Yes, you don't have to pretty much dye the bottom. It's really worrying about the top, making sure that the top gets the full dye. When you're going in the beginning, you just want to go ahead and lightly comb it. You don't want to go deeply into the roots when you're combing it. You just want to lightly comb it with the dye, so that we're still getting that natural parting, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. You know, you don't want to have burgundy roots or knots. Well, you do want to have burgundy knots, but it doesn't want to look like your whole lace is dyed to the color. We still want to have natural roots. Like, my head scalp is not burgundy, so I don't want my head scalp looking burgundy, if you guys, you know what I'm saying. So we want to make sure that we're not combing through it, because if you comb through it, you're gonna have a burgundy scalp. You're gonna give your client a burgundy scalp. So your client gonna just be walking around with a burgundy scalp if you just comb through it. So we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna comb lightly at the top. You know, you can put a little dye, and then when it gets to the top, lightly comb it. Don't comb through it like you combing through your hair. I know I have to repeat it, you know, for some people. So you see how I comb through that? You can see the parting. You can still see the lightness through it. That's the naturalness. That's mean I'm not combing through it. I'm just lightly combing it. So that's what you guys want to do there, okay? So that you can get that natural look. Alrighty, so once you comb through the front, you know, you want to go ahead and move to the other side. Do the same thing. We're having the same effect when it comes to combing through the hairs. Now when it comes to the baby edges, you want to make sure you're lightly combing out the baby edges as well, because if you're just combing through it, like I said, you're just going to get a burgundy scalp. So just make sure you're lightly combing it as well. just kind of like passing the dye lightly on the hair, not really combing it, just kind of like passing the dye with the comb on top of the baby edges. I know it looks like I'm combing through this, but I promise you guys, I am not. I am using the teeth of the comb so that I can comb through the hair to put the dye on it. The base of the comb is not touching the hair at all. And if it is passing through it and it's not on the roots. Again, do not let the base of the comb touch the roots. Look how it looks, you guys, once it's done dyeing. I'm going to leave it here for about an hour so that, it can, get that dye in, So after an hour, I came back with some hot water. I'm going to go ahead and mix the rest of the dye that I had in there because I didn't use all of it. So I used about 2 bottles. I thought I was going to need 4, but I actually needed 2. So I used, I put the rest of the 71 in there so that, it can give it that nice reddish color because she wants a burgundy red. So what I did, I used all the 78 already and I used the rest of the 71 in the hot water. So here we go. So as I go ahead and dip, I like to dip in portions. I dip the end so that it can actually get the color. So I keep dipping and combing, dipping and combing. I find it when you do it like this that the whole thing gets dye and you will see the whole dye color that you want to see. If you just go ahead and just dip it like that and don't comb through it, it's not going to give the color that you want because you're going to see some of the brown still. So you want to make sure that you're combing through it once you're dipping it into the water. Now once it's in the water, I leave it in for 5 minutes. I then go ahead and take it out and voila, look at the color. No brown, you ain't seeing no brown, you see all burgundy, and it gives it that nice burgundy reddish that she was looking for. And now I add some bio silk so we can give it some body and some silk. I go in with the bio silk and make sure that I get every strand. I like to go ahead and make sure I get the bottoms as well because the bottoms be needing it. This wig has been dyed before, so it's been lasting with us. It's been riding through till the wheels fall off. But let me go ahead and give this a little brush before we blow dry it. I like to go ahead and brush it through with the bio silk. Make sure that it's getting through. The bio silk is getting through the strands. So let's go ahead and blow dry it. I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and see how I blow dry it. Get it straight, get it straight. See you guys in a little bit. This is how it looks after I blow dry it. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the plucking because I feel like the wig needs a little bit of touch up. So I'm gonna go ahead and pluck it. I'm not gonna pluck too much on camera. I'm not gonna lie, this angle was not a good angle for me to pluck in. I really need to figure out a way how to go ahead and pluck on camera because this was not it. So y'all please bear with me as I show y'all a little 1-2, cause like I said, this was not a great position. All right. All Alright y'all, so this is how it looks after I finished plucking it off of camera. I couldn't do everything on camera, so I went off of camera and unpluck it. So now I'm finna go ahead and just hot comb the tops, so that we can, you know, give it a little straightening, give it a little bump. My client's about to come, so I'm about to install it soon in her hair, so I can definitely show you guys the aftermath of how everything looked on my client. So go ahead and enjoy the process. See you guys later.